I'm going to go ahead and get started. I do see that we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Comment in the chat if you could hear me clearly. I hate to do a whole presentation. Y'all can't hear me. All right, let's go. I am Kalia S. Parker Prayer. I'm an educator, creative writer, theater fanatic, and script consultant. I help creative writers write, self-publish, and produce culturally relevant scripts through the arts. I focus on getting more culturally relevant materials on the stage. Today, I'm going to share with you how to write, self-publish, and produce culturally relevant work. But in particular, today's topic is how to find your target audience. How to find your target audience. It is a beautiful, beautiful disaster. Yes, that's the oxymoron, and I will tell you why. Please excuse the noise in the background. I have my kids playing in the dining room area. Like I said, my shirt says, I'm a mom 24/7, and I have teenagers from my neighborhood playing outside in the back. So excuse the noise. We're going to go on. How to find your target audience. The show will go on, ladies and gentlemen. That is a theater rule, but the show will not go on without an audience. You need people to fill those seats. Target audience. What is it? Why is it? A target audience is a particular group at which a play, film, book, advertising campaign, etc. is aimed at. Why is it? How is that relevant to you? Because step one of how to find your target audience is to identify the audience in the theater. We identify our audience based on 3 common categories. Demography, we look at the age, sex, education, income, cultural background. Interest, what are they looking for? What do they like to read? What do they like to watch? And purchase intentions. What kind of products do they like to go to? What kind of plays do they like to watch? Let me tell you a story in reference to my theater experiences. Well, I teach drama at a high school. My school's chorus went to see an opera. The students begged me to go. I said, an opera? I believe, after teaching them for 4 years, that I made it very clear that an opera is not my interest. My students know I'm a script person. I focus on text, and I could take a little music, but not too much. So many shows pushed the line for me, like Hamilton, Into the Woods, and The Heights. The list goes on, but I like lots of text, little music. I only attend shows in my interest. And though I have mad respect for theater history, I tend to gear toward the 60s and thereafter. Any shows that affect my cultural background, I am there. So when the kids went to see their little opera, I said, what in the world? They came back and told me that it was Porgy and Bess. I was so disappointed in myself. They knew my purchase intentions. They were familiar with my demographics, yet they neglected the fact that Porgy and Bess is also my interest. Why is Porgy and Bess my interest? Because it is Black arts. Porgy and Bess, y'all, Sidney Poitier. Why didn't they tell me that the opera they were going to see was Porgy and Bess? Had they told me, I definitely would have attended. So I was a little upset with them and mad at myself for not going. Here's the lesson I learned. It is important to look at 3 categories when identifying your audience. That leads me to step 2. Step 2 says, identify your ideal audience members' targets. Not just identify them, but also identify their target. You have to know their likes as well as their dislikes. You have to know their behaviors and what genres they find interesting. Again, the reason why I was so upset with my students was because they did not tell me that it was Porgy and Bess. They told me the genre first. They told me, hey, let's go see Porgy and Bess, a opera, and told me the background history that it was culturally relevant, like Black arts, I definitely would have attended. And it was free, y'all. Free to me. So in order to get you going and help you find the target audience, I am going to do a little activity with you. I'm going to show you 2 different logos, and you're going to tell me the target audience for those logos. Who's the ideal customer? Who's the ideal audience for this logo here? Who's the ideal customer? Who's the ideal audience for this logo here? Okay, so the first one, it's a guy, obviously a plumber or someone in the maintenance category, fixing appliances, wearing jeans, further shows the occupation. That's right. The ideal audience is people with appliances. 1. But if you notice the picture, he's wearing jeans, have his hindsight out. The ideal customer is probably not a woman or a professional woman, working woman. We're not trying to get that dirty. We definitely don't want our ideal plumber to come with their behind out. But at this point, hey, it's all appliances. We know he knows what he's doing. He's all into it. His ideal client is someone that does not work in the plumbing industry, someone that has a lot of appliances, and someone that is kind of afraid to get dirty. That's the ideal customer. Let's go over to logo 2. And all of these are assumptions. They're not set in stone. Logo number 2, it's a company called Not for Lazy Moms. Who's their ideal customer? Take a guess, take a guess. All right, number one, their ideal customer would not be a lazy mom, correct? Because clearly it says not for lazy moms. Their ideal customer probably is a mom. I see a purse, so probably a working mom, a shopping mom. I see a bottle, probably mom with babies or young children. I see condiments in her hand, which means that she is working hard to get to her family for dinner. I see strength. She's showing her guns. So she's probably a mom that works out a lot. And I also see her peaceful pose, which shows that, hey, maybe she does a little yoga and meditation. So her ideal customer is somewhat of a mommy, maybe a wife, we could assume that, entrepreneur. We'll keep going. So if I'm telling you I'm writing a play that deals with social issues and culturally relevant things, why on earth would you ask me to write anything other than that? I'm all for the importance of genre and the impact of people's selection on what to read. There are 144 different genres of literature. We have comedy and drama that I'm going to talk about today. They're one of the major two. Let me tell you a lesson I learned from watching television with my husband. DeMarcus is my husband and loves television. Every now and then, I'll pop in and join him. That's before he kicks me out for asking a bunch of questions because I missed the whole beginning of the play or the movie, the prologue. DeMarcus enjoys action movies with a little sci-fi. He adores comedy. I love drama. Duh. I guess that's a given. I may like a little comedy and a little bit of sci-fi here and there, but for the most part, DeMarcus loves comedy, action movies, and I love drama, family films, Hallmark type movies. I don't always like his movie selections, though he shares a similar demographic as I do. We have very, very similar backgrounds. And that's okay. Because like Bobby Brown says, it's my prerogative and it's his prerogative as well. We really have to be okay with this. Now, I'm going to read and break down 2 TV shows and their descriptions, and you're going to tell me what TV shows there are. And I'm also going to leave it open because I left off text intentionally so you can help me identify which movie or television show it is. I'm going to show you that the description, the text, is more important than the name in this sense. We're trying to get to our target audience. An American crime drama streaming television series. That's right, you guessed it. That was Ozark. All right, I'm gonna go to the second one. It says, blank shows 2 families with their vastly different worlds drawn together. The family discovers that the difference that divide us on the surface hides a deeper connection. The complicated, imperfect humanity that unites us all. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is all American. All American. Definitely one of my favorite shows. When it comes to Ozark, the first one, not so much. Yes, I am interested In married couples, yes, I may be interested in having to relocate families. Not that interested in money laundering. And definitely not interested in Missouri, where this takes place in the Ozarks. You got to look at all three factors when trying to find your target audience. The second one, yes, definitely. One of my favorite shows. I watch it every Monday night. Families with vastly different worlds, check. That's me. The family discovers that the differences that divide us on the surface hides a deeper connection. Check. That's me. I like it. Complicated, imperfect humanity that unites us all. Check. I'm there. I'm going to watch All American. Cool beans, cool beans. Oh, and it takes place in Crenshaw, LA. I'm definitely interested in the LA life. Demographics. Two more. Here we go. Let's analyze this one. I have the have and the have-nots. The Have and the Have-Nots, one of my favorite TV shows, absolutely favorite. Tuesdays, Tyler Perry. We love Tyler Perry. The Have and the Have-Nots take place in Savannah, Georgia. The Cryer family is the enviable face of success and wealth. At least that's how it appears from the outside. But within the walls of the family's opulent mansion, dysfunction and double lives threaten to destroy the Cryer's world of privilege. The Cryer's daughter, Amanda, is a struggling law student who has unknowingly befriended a woman, Candace Young, who has the power to ruin the entire family, and also happens to be that strange daughter of the Cryer's maid, Hannah. When manipulative Candace realizes that she is Jim's escort, she sees that as an opportunity of a lifetime. That's the have and the have-nots. Now, let's dissect this one for the people in the back. Here's the disaster. You may have two shows by the same playwright geared toward different audiences. Here we go. This show, The Have and the Have-Nots, just like we did the one before, highlight family. I'm here for it. Enviable face of success and wealth. I'm here to watch it. Family's opulent mansion. I'm there. Dysfunction and double lives. Drama. Check. That's my genre. I'm here. World of privilege. Well, don't necessarily live in that world, but I am interested in it. So check. Let me watch The Have and the Have-Nots. Struggling law student, a little known fact. I originally wanted to go to school for law, so interest, check. Unknowingly befriended a woman? That has never happened to me, but I am interested in it. Check. Power? Wow. Power, interest, estranged daughter. I can't relate to that, but I could empathize with Hannah. Manipulative. Opportunity of a lifetime. Check, check, check. I am interested in it. It's something that I normally would watch. It takes place in Atlanta, Georgia. Demographics are all there. It has drama. I'm all for it. Last one, too close to home. This is about, it's an 8-part drama that chronicles Anna's journey from a low-income Alabama upbringing to a highbrow lifestyle among political elites in Washington, D.C. A major scandal, however, exposes Anna's checkered past, and with nowhere to turn, she's forced to find sanctuary in the only place she has left, home. Back in the ironically named Happy Alabama, Anna reunites with her controlling mother and her two sisters, Anna reunites with her controlling mother and her two sisters, one of which is a drug addict. Let's go back and analyze this according to our methods. Here we go. Too close to home. Tyler Perry, something I normally would purchase. An 8-part drama. I like the genre. A low-income Alabama upbringing. Can't relate. Not in my demographical setting, I'm sorry. Highbrow lifestyle. I'm interested in it. Political elites. Nah, not my interest. A major scandal. Whoo, I'm all in. Checkered past. Yeah, I could understand people with a checkered past. So interest. Left home. I could relate. Definitely left home to go to college. Controlling mother. Can't really relate to that. But I have interest in it. Two sisters. Drug addict sister. Can't relate to it. But I want to empathize with this cast. So would this be a show that I would love to watch? 1 is by Tyler Perry. 2, I'm interested. 3, it has the genres that I like to watch. I normally purchase tickets by Tyler Perry, but the disaster in it, I didn't like it. I didn't like this show at all. It didn't sway Tyler Perry either more because, hey, I just happened to not be in the target audience for this actual show. And that's pretty okay. He still got paid. He still had the views. It just wasn't for me. So definitely, just because it's by the same playwright, just because I love all the Tyler Perry shows and I support it at least once and I watch it at least once, does not mean that this show is for me. I'm not in the target audience for this show. I'm definitely in the target audience for the have and the have-nots. I will stay online. I will tweet it, all of that, because I love the have and the have-nots. And that gives me step 3. Step 3 says you have to accept that just because it's your family or friend, Facebook friend, doesn't mean they're part of your target audience. I'm in all of Tyler Perry's group. I am his Facebook friend, but Too Close to Home was not the show of my dreams. I was not in the target audience for that show. Also, when you write and publish a work, you gotta understand that some people will read it. Some people will watch your work for the first time simply because it's you or they know your mom and them. After that, first time, sometimes they won't be inclined to make the next purchase, and here's why. They are not in your target audience. You were simply their target at the time. That's all. It's all personal. 2, here's a beautiful disaster. Some people purchase just to see what you're doing. They speculate to see if they can and will do the same. Or they want to see what your obstacles entail when it comes to publishing and marketing your work. That's beautiful, but it's also disastrous. Like the saying, keep your friends close, but your followers closer. Or whatever the saying says, your followers are where the money resides. That's a beautiful disaster. Let's go back over our steps. Step 1, you have to identify your target audience in theater. Step 2, identify your ideal audience members target. And step 3, recognize and get through the disaster.